Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the shop. So if you've been following along, you know that we have put the new bearings in this block. We painted the block. Let me not skip that. We painted the block. We honed the cylinders. We put new bearings in. We plastic gauged it. We put the crank in. And we got our pistons in. And today what we're going to do, we're going to put on the oil pump and the water pump, and we're going to flip it over and put on the oil pan.
Don't adjust that dial, cause it ain't no glitch. Best Mazda content from MazdaMitch. Mazda Minitruck.
So before we get started, let me give you a little quick tour of the parts we're going to put on. Okay, so we got our oil pumps. And what I like to do and what I suggest, all of your old bolts that come out of your old nasty oil pump, take a wire brush to them or take them to a bench grinder with a wire wheel and clean everything up so that it's very easy for you to thread in and install. Clean them all up, get all the gunk off, make them look as best they can. And so I did that, and then I cleaned up the oil pickup tube and the strainer. You can probably see a little heat mark on it because it had some funk on it that wouldn't come out with the wire brush, so I had to burn it off. But I wanted to clean this up really well because that is going on today, along with the oil pan and the windage tray. And then this is really simple. This is your water pump. And again, I took every bolt, cleaned them up. And this is not tightened down, but basically this was a new part. This is a new part, of course, and these are new. So basically you just unbolt that, take your bolt and carry it over. And then this the same way, this tensioner, you know, it has a dimple coming out of the water pump. So you definitely, that's easy. Just put that on, slide it over, put your bolt in. And then what you don't want to ever lose is this tensioner spring that goes on here. You don't want to lose that. That's probably difficult to find. I haven't really researched it, but it's probably difficult to get, so don't lose it. But this is ready to go. It just needs to be bolted up. This needs to be bolted up along with the gasket. And something I like to use, once again, if you're going to be doing something like this and you need your torque specs, which I'll list them in the video, but this is available on the website. We got the full shop manual. You can print whatever page you're working on for that day and use it. So for an RTV for this area, because the oil pump doesn't come with a gasket, it actually says in the shop manual to use a sealant. And so what I like to use, this is as close to what I have ever found to replicate the Mazda gray RTV. And it's really just 100% silicone, but it's a high temperature gray and it's resistant. I mean, it says intermittent up to 600 degrees. It's also resistant to oil, water, antifreeze, safe for everything. So that's definitely what I want to do, is resist oil and water in these two applications and for the oil pan. But I got this off of Amazon a long time ago. I got about 2 tubes. It's called Visbella. So I do have a question for you guys. Maybe you could leave it in the comments. But if everything is 100% silicone, then why is there so many different styles of gasket maker if it's all 100% silicone? I don't get that. I'm sure they add something to the 100% silicone, maybe. I don't know. Leave a comment below. Help me figure that one out. Okay, back to the block. Something I want to draw your attention to is when you're getting an engine block and it's from who knows where, and you're doing what I'm doing, you definitely want to clean out all of your threaded holes. And this one here is for the coolant tube And look in, ooh, sorry about that. I don't know if you can see, but look in there. There is a little piece of orange RTV in there. So I've got my air compressor hooked up, a little small one. I'm gonna blow the holes out. Plus, I got a few of these. I'm gonna put on a drill, and we're gonna kind of just run through and clean these holes out real quick, so that will help you when you're putting your bolts in, so you don't run into any dead ends, and it'll help with your torque specs. Real quick, I want to blow out some of these holes. I'm gonna scrub them with the drill. See that coming out? Okay, got it out. Now, I think it might be better to run it in reverse so that it pulls stuff out. Easy enough. I think that's about it. Okay, so in preparation here, we do have a new gasket for the oil pickup tube. We'll set that aside. And we got this O-ring that goes right here in the top right corner of this oil pump. Don't forget that. All right, so the way this oil pump is driven off this crank. It's got two places for it that fit right in here, and that's what turns it around. So the book doesn't say to do this, but it is metal on metal, and to me, I want something on it. So I'm going to put just a thin little coat of grease around it for this. I just would feel better. Okay, so I've cleaned all the surface up with some brake clean. A nice rag, it's nice and dry. And so what I want to do, I can kind of see right here where it was before. So I'm going to put a little skim coat of RTV around this, and then I'm going to put some on the oil pump, and then we'll assemble it. Okay, let's see if I can get some of this stuff to come out. There we go. I am just going to apply it with my finger. This is the oil hole, so you don't want to get any in the oil hole for sure. This stuff is set up a little while, and it's kind of being difficult. Doesn't spread like I remember. Okay, let's put some on the oil pump. All right, so I got enough sealant on here, just enough, you know, and I just tacked it in with my finger. I also did the same for right around here, and didn't get any in the oil hole. Now, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put an extra pair of eyes on. There we go. And we're just gonna, now I did lubricate right here. I did lubricate this with some grease and this lip where the oil seal goes. They say you can use motor oil. All right, let's see if we can slide it on. Just like that. All right, so now we've got 3 long bolts and 3 short bolts. Well, there's 2 short ones and an extra shorter one. Let me find that one. Just gonna snug everything up real quick and then we'll torque it down. Okay, the torque spec for these 3 big bolts it's 27 to 38 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do them in stages. I'll probably do 20 and then 27 and then 38. And these 3 shorter bolts are 14 to 19 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do them at 10 and then 14 and then 19. And this time around, I did get one of these torque adapters. Instead of using the click type wrench, we're going to try this today. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see. On that one. Okay, that was 20. I kind of want to torque everything evenly, so I'm going to go ahead and do these top bolts too. And what did I say? I was going to do 10 on those. Let's just do around 12. Oh, wrong socket. Oh. I might go ahead and do these top ones. So do 12. Let's go to 15 because the end result's 19. Honestly, they don't not feel tight. Okay. 19 foot-pounds, so. All right, go ahead and finish these out. And it just don't seem very tight to me, but it's what it calls for. All right, we're done with the top. So where were we on the bottom? We were at 20. We're gonna go on up to 27. Okay. All right, and the last one is 38 foot-pounds. So let's bump it on up. All right, we're at 38. .38 does feel good and tight. Okay. All right, so that's in there. So now what we want to do is kind of clean up any extra that pushed out. Okay, really what I did just then is I only cleaned it up right here and I left it. It's just not that much, so I'm just gonna leave that like it is. I'll probably make it a mess if I try to smear it with my hand. I may come through later with a razor, but it's not important. It's not too much squished out. So this is our gasket for the water pump. We might as well put it on next. And so what I like to do is I like to put a skim coat of the sealant here and then tack this up put some on this side and then put the water pump on. So let me just make sure this is good and clean. Feel a little oiliness right here. I'll clean this up with some brake clean and we'll get on it. You don't want to get crazy with this stuff. You don't have to. We're just skim coating. So what I always talk about in the forums and stuff is just applying a skim coat, because we already got a gasket, but I like to ensure, I only want to do this once. So I don't want any leaks after all of my hard work. So even though there's a gasket, I'm going to put a skim coat on there. All of the bolts are the same except for this one. This one's shorter, so you want to keep up with that. I like to thread everything in by hand so I know it's in there properly. That's why I like to clean these threads on everything before it goes back in so that it goes in very well. Okay, I don't think I missed any. All right, now let's torque it down. Let's find the torque specs and torque it down. Okay, so these are 14 to 19 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go 14 in step 1 and step 2 will be 19, so. Okay, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to bump it up to 19. There we go. Okay, next up, I'm going to put our pulley on. And these are torqued at 38 foot-pounds. And this one I can tighten up all the way. But this one, we're going to leave it loose because we got to put our timing belt on and adjust it. So there's no point in torquing that down just yet. So we're just gonna start it. Just leave it there. Torque that down. It's 27 to 28. So we're going to start with. It's already set on 19. That sounds good. Do it in steps. Do it the right way. 19. Okay, so now let's bump it up 27. 27.7 is fine because we're going to 38. So. Okay. Bump it up to 38. 38 seems like a lot for that guy, but it is. I'm gonna put my spring on so I don't lose it. There we go. Just tighten it up. All right, so we got our oil pump put on, we got our water pump put on. So next thing we need to do, we need to rotate this engine over. And we need to put our oil pickup tube on and the oil pan. All right, so we need to clean clean our surface here. It's got, let's wipe all this stuff out. Got oil on it. We need to dry this up really well for our sealant. So we need to run some brake clean over it. Want everything nice and dry. Okay guys, so as I get ready and I'm cleaning, getting ready to put this windage tray on and the pickup tube and the oil pan, I wanted to draw your attention to something because this engine's been rebuilt before by someone else, and they obviously gooped a lot of RTV and it went down in the holes. And so I wanted to show you if you can see, like, there's some in that hole. I've already started picking some out of that hole. There's some in that hole, and I picked one out of that hole. So what I'm saying is you want to make sure this stuff is clean and free of extra RTV stuff, because that will hinder your torque sequence, or when you're trying to torque it down, you may run into that. So it's always good to go through and clean the holes. Oh, one thing just came up. You remember in one of my previous videos, I said I was going to do the rear main seal later, but turns out I really need to have it on there now because it bridges the gap on the back of the oil pan. So I got to get that on there. Okay, it's time for a little update. So in order to get the engine off the stand, I moved the truck back and I used my hoist and I just set it down on the ground, upside down. I don't have a cart or anything made for it yet, but it's okay. And I went ahead and put on the rear main seal and torqued it down properly. And if you're wondering how to do a rear main seal, I covered that in a video already. It was the replacing your clutch video, so check it out if you're interested in knowing how to do that. So I got that all done and cleaned up, and I went ahead and took off the plate piece and painted it, or I'm painting it, and I discovered something. So this is the one that was on the engine. I just took it off and I cleaned it up and painted it, and then I realized there was some differences. This one had holes in the top and this one did not. This one here came off of the truck motor that was in the truck that was blown up or whatever, and this is for an automatic. Let me flip this over so it looks the same. But this one is for the automatic. It doesn't have them holes up there, and if you overlay it, everything lines up, but the opening is bigger. So I'm glad I caught that. So this one is the one I'll be using for the auto.
The next day.
All right, so it's the next day, and so I took the engine off the stand. You saw I had it here in front of the truck because I had to put on the rear seal, and I did that. And then I was reviewing some of the footage, and you probably saw what I saw, which was on the water pump, the gasket. So when I was doing the gasket, everything lined up perfectly, but there's a small little piece that kind of runs up here. It doesn't do anything, but it's just part of the gasket, and it's right here. It's hanging out. So obviously it got pulled down a little bit, and it should be under the bolt. So I'm going to take the bolt out and slide it up and put the bolt back in. So let's see if this is as easy as I hope it'll be. I did loosen this so it'll get out of the way. I'll have to re-torque that. Doesn't even feel tight, but that's what they wanted. Let's see. Oh Lord. it's not going to move enough to get it in there. So I might just have to leave it. Look, I really hate to leave it. So I tried with the screwdriver and it's just not enough to pry and get it in there. And it's really probably not necessary. Let's just back it up a little bit. The RTV, it's been cold, so it's not quite set up anyway, which I'm hoping it does set up. We got some warm days coming up. I'll leave it out here in the shop. Hopefully it will. That ought to do. Let me get a light on it. You may want to see this. All right. Let's just see. If it'll do it. Yeah, it will. I think that's perfect. That's in there. Good deal. I would just hate to have it like that, you know. Help me sleep better at night knowing it's done right. Now I know that's probably a little over torque recommendation, but I'm going by feel and I want it pretty tight. I may go back and check it, but I like that. That's good, better than it was. I'm just gonna move this out of the way and tighten it up a little bit just to keep tension on my spring so I don't lose it. All right, good. Okay, so another thing I did yesterday is I made a little rolling cart while I had the oil pan off. And I know we're kind of getting off track on this video, but while I had the oil pan off, I wanted to make a rolling cart to put the engine on. And this was a great way to measure out how to build my box. So I did this so that after we put the oil pan and stuff on, we can put the lower assembly on this, and then I can finish. Well, I'll put the head on, and then we'll lift it up with the gantry crane and put it on this rolling cart and finish the back out. And then I'll end up I have the transmission on another little lift, and I'll be able to mate them together, and then hopefully we'll put it in the truck. So that's what that's all about. Did that too. Okay, so the time has come to where we need to put on the windage tray, the oil pickup tube, and the oil pan. Okay, and I must go over this. This comes up a lot in Facebook groups and on the forum. A lot of guys may get an engine kit and it may come with a cork gasket. They often do, and they do sell them. Just because they sell them doesn't mean they need to be used. When these trucks come from the factory, they do not have a cork gasket. They simply come with RTV all around, and then you put your windage tray on, you do it again, and then you put your oil pan on. And it's clearly stated right here in the factory service manual, which is available on the website. You can use a cork gasket if you want to, but a lot of people that do end up with leaks, often because the cork gasket compresses and squeezes out and just doesn't do a good job. Okay, so we're going to follow along with what the book says. I've got a pretty clever little tool here to squeeze out some RTV. And that's just what we're going to do. What we're going to do, just like the book says, we're going to go around and inside the holes, not on the outside of the holes, but on the inside, just a small bead all the way around, and then we're going to mount it to the engine. Okay, let's install this pickup tube. We'll put our gasket right there. Now would be a good time to drop something in the engine. Just kidding. Get those started before I do. Drop something in there. I believe the tightening torque for the bolts around here, when you put the pan on, it's 104 inch-pounds if you're really wanting to be cautious. Not sure what these are, but gonna go just, you know, just before stripping it out. Like that. All right, now we're ready to put some sealant around here, button it up, put our pan on. You want to clean it real good, of course. So I know I just told you could put it on the windage tray and then put your oil pan on, and that's fine. The book does say you can put it on the pan, so we're going to try that. Might actually be a little easier. Okay, let's see if I can flip it over and put it on without making a mess or dropping it. Get nervous. Okay. Oops. All right. How you like that paint job? Cleaned it up while I had it off. All right, so need to get my bolts in. Okay, so now that we got them a little bit tight, we're gonna go ahead and put the torque wrench on it and see what 104 foot-pounds feels like. I meant 104 inch-pounds. Okay, so at first I got it set to 77. We're gonna do 77, or you could do 69, 70, and then we're gonna jump to 104. So I'm gonna start in the middle. See where I am right now. Whoops. Let me get it situated. Oh, it cut itself off. Well, this thing, I tell you what, I'm gonna need a longer extension. Some of these are in the pan. So, inch-pounds, got it set to 77. And we are still going. Yeah, it wasn't that tight. All right, so let me buzz them all. We'll go. Okay, I just finished torquing it down. You know, I really don't think I've ever torqued these down to spec. I've always just done it hand tight to where it felt right. But now, rest assured for myself, this one's done properly. Now, for this stuff that is squeezed out, what I like to do is just take a rag and just clean it up. Clean it up best I can so that it just doesn't look like that. Okay, so I cleaned it up. I didn't want to bore you with that. Got it cleaned up. And now the lower assembly is pretty much done. It's all sealed up. We got the rear main seal on. Got our pistons in. Got everything in. You know, the crank, water pump, the oil pump. So next step would be need to work on the cylinder head. Now I already got a video about doing the cylinder head, but if you're interested in seeing a new one, just drop a comment below. I may do it anyway, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. All right, so if you've made it this far in the video, I'm proud of you. All right, so this is the short block. It is complete. And this is just another installment in a series where I'm rebuilding the engine and doing everything else to get this project truck running. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and watching this video. I appreciate every one of you that have bought an EGR plate from the website. It helps support the channel and stuff. I really appreciate that. And that'll do it for this video. Guess we'll see you in the next one. Woo-wee, that looks nice. I sure hope it doesn't leak.